ow, 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 ow. Okay. Ow, 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 ow.
Easy, sweetie.
Ow,
It's okay. It's okay.
Ow, 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 ow. Ow.
Hun? You and Starling in there?
Yeah, I'm just bandaging her up after.
What?
Who the do I have to mess up?
I'll get the nail bed!
Easy, babe. Looks like it's just a flare-up with the scar thanks to the heat. She'll be fine. She just needs some ice on it to rest for a while, which is the exact opposite of what she was trying to do before she fell.
Hun, we talked about this.
Sorry, hun, sweetie, darling. I just really need to get back to patrolling the border.
What you need is to stay down and let us take care of you. Now just lay down and get ready for emergency lovies.
Oh. Yes, sweetie.
Good. Now, hun, can you get some more ice for her scar?
Sure thing. Take it easy, Sylvie. We got you.
Thanks, darling.
Thanks, hun. Babe, while I go get some pain meds, can you give her some pets to keep her still?
Of course, babe. What are we gonna do with you, hun?
Love me even when I'm stupid.
You're not stupid.
Stubborn, but not stupid.
Okay. Stubborn it is.
Okay, got the ice moss pack. We'll just need to make a quick swap, and there we go.
Oh, yeah. That's much better. Thanks, darling.
And herb time.
Feeling better, hun?
Much better. Thanks, everyone. I feel so good, in fact. I think I'm
Going to lie down and watch a movie to rest or no cuddles for a month?
Fair enough. I really do appreciate having partners who can call me out when I'm a bit too focused on work. Love y'all.
Love you too.
So, what do you all have in mind to watch?
Well, if you want a comedy, we could watch The Mitchells.
Good idea, but maybe something a bit darker.
Oh, how about Amadeus? That's pretty twisted.
True, but I think something a bit more fun.
Well, how about Arlo?
Arlo?
Yeah, it's a great shortish movie with lots of fun, lots of darker themes, LGBTQ plus representation, and to top it all off, covering the importance of found family.
Huh. You know what? Sounds good to me. What do you two think?
Sounds perfect.
Sure, I'm game.
All right then. Hun, why don't you go get the laptop?
Why is it always my laptop?
It's supposed to be laying down.
Hooves.
Because reasons.
Fair enough.
It's gonna be so good. I've seen it 3 times and still don't get bored of it.
Really? Well, I can't wait, hun.
Me either. Considering the first collab I had was Narnia, and then Raya, I'm sure this will get nestled in between as a good film.
And here we go. One viewing later.
Oh.
Lee?
Heck.
That was incredible!
Told you.
We gotta do a collab of this now! Ow, 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 ow!
I told you to lie down.
Hello everyone, and welcome to a very special 4-way collab with me and my wonderful boyfriends, Dashing Doodle,
Hi.
Brilliant Ben,
Hey!
and Caring Churgo.
Happy to be here.
Today we're covering the colorful, brilliant, and incredible world of Netflix's Arlo the Alligator Boy that premiered on Netflix a few months ago.
From creator Ryan Kriego, Arlo was a story 10 years in the making that covers themes of found family, individuality, and what it really means to express yourself. It premiered on Netflix April 16th of this year, and Arlo is a musical marvel for all and the start of the I Heart Arlo series.
Following the story of a little alligator named Arlo, we see the little guy go on an exciting journey after he finds out he was adopted by his adopted mom, Edme. Traveling across the country, Arlo meets lots of wonderful characters like Birdie, Felicia, Alia, Teeny Tiny Tony, and Marcellus. Together, they not only try to find Arlo's father, but keep him safe from danger at every turn.
With a beautiful 2D style by Titmouse Inc. and featuring an incredible cast like Michael J. Woodard, Mary Lambert, and Jonathan Van Ness,
Arlo is a treasure. However, whether it be from advertising issues or just the style of the work, some people are divided on whether to watch the movie or not. Heck, some people don't even know what Arlo even is.
So today, we're getting right into the meat of this movie and doing a deep dive on everything Arlo, and where, if anywhere, they may need to improve. While we mostly will be going spoiler-free on this, I think there is one little thing you should know.
Despite what it looks like, the dad did not bang an alligator.
So with that in mind, sit back, relax, and let's dive into the incredibly surprising but welcoming world of Arlo the Alligator Boy. To start off, you all okay if I take a bit of time to focus on the story?
You got it.
Just make sure to lay down.
Have fun, sweetie.
Fair. Now, where do we start with all of this? Well, knocking the good parts out of the way, Arlo is a wonderful story about covering the themes of identity and found family. At about an hour and a half, the story is an average kid's film length and is fast-paced throughout the film, which it does know how to slow down at times for really impactful moments to hit home. Arlo does struggle with one teeny tiny little issue. It turns the movie into a pilot rather than a complete story.
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, let me put you this way. When you watch a standalone film, even if a series comes after it, the movie itself must be able to answer 80 to 90% of all questions it brings up. This mostly covers off world-building mechanics, character motivations, character backstories, and plot points in the film. The Mitchells vs. the Machines, for example, is a standalone film that really works well in setting up and answering the questions the film proposes. However, Arlo leaves almost all its questions unanswered to the audience. Why are there beings in the world like Arlo and his group? Where did Felicia, Tony, and Aaliyah come from? Why was Marcellus in the tank? And so many other answers that we want to know. Even the question, why does Birdie keep moving from town to town, is really vague in its answer. And therefore, the audience feels like we shouldn't get invested in the work. We just think, well, there's going to be an answer in the series that will come, so why not wait? As much as it's nice to see this series kick off to do its own thing, I honestly think maybe this should have been saved for the series itself and spread over a whole season. It even seems like maybe the creators wanted to expand out the story when you examine the scene of when they leave the bus to Follow Me Home. As brilliant as the scene of Follow Me Home was, it felt like the in-between had something missing. Like, building up to that point, there was a good 30 minutes, I would almost say, of dialogue and context that was taken out for time. While again, the movie worked well as a whole, the rush that happened in the story to get from point A to point B was just too much. Overall, while I think the story is a real gem in media, its pacing could use a real lift.
Yeah, you still enjoyed it, right?
Oh, fang yeah! I put on Arlo anytime I want a feel-good flick. I just wish it had a juicier plot. Though, the story has got nothing on the music.
Couldn't agree more. In fact, you okay if I cover that?
I don't see why not, darling. How about you two?
Of course.
Yep. Now come and take it easy while one of us takes over.
Yes, sweetie! Ow! 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 Ow!
This is why we take breaks.
I know.
All right, time to put all this musical knowledge to use.
You got this.
Love you, hon.
Love you too, hun. Churgo, you cool. And take it easy, Sylvie. While I will admit I agree with Starling on the simplified story, something I will not say was lacking was the music. Almost 1/3 of the runtime had songs, which is a lot more than a normal animated film from, say, The House of Mouse. It would make sense they need to deliver on this part of the film, and boy they did. From the first opening number to the final belt-out moment, Arlo is a treat for your ears with each new number. Heck, I even love the little touch they add in as to why the characters sing out a lot in this movie.
Because musicals bring in the big bucks.
I mean, you're not wrong, but hear me out. While musicals do indeed become big selling points for kids, the creators and composer Alex Garangas fit the theme of expressing oneself with bursting out in the song. Throughout the movie, Arlo explains and demonstrates that he prefers to sing out his emotions to let people know how he feels. Being very open about his emotions and goals, the songs come out more naturally than they would in other works because they feel right for Arlo, and in turn, the entire world starts singing out of nowhere. Most musicals don't explain why they're singing and dancing because, hey, just singing and dancing can be fun for a lot of people. I mean, there's a musical where people just stomp called Stomp. So you can imagine how varying a musical is. However, that can lead to many people just being not into it or being taken out of the experience because it comes out of nowhere for a character to just sing, where they could just speak it to another character. This is where Arlo thrives with the music. It has a natural purpose in the world and it's explained very well. Explaining to the audience that they all sing to express themselves is a way to make a musical without it feeling jarring, and it gets the audience more invested in the songs, the characters, and what's going on because it's coming straight from the characters, not popping out of nowhere. It's also a great way to teach kids an important lesson in communication and expression, which even adults could stand to listen to from time to time. I could go on about how each song is well made and how it works for the film and each character, but just think about that when you're listening to this music watching this film. You might be as surprised as I was how well thought out the music was for this.
Well said, darling.
Made some solid points, Music Man.
Ha, thanks. But what should we cover next?
Ooh, how about animations and art? I got lots of opinions in that field.
I'd be down for that.
Heck yeah! And that means Ben and I are on cuddle duty until my return.
Floof time, here I come.
I have been betrayed by Snuggles. Let me up, the guardian of the forest demands to be freed.
Well, Miss the Guardian of the Forest, you can hobble out, do your chores, and probably break a leg. Or you can stay here and get all the lovies and snuggles.
I second that.
Agreed. We got you, cutie.
You know what? I can live with that.
Love you, sweetie.
Love you too, sweetie.
Back on track, though. The artwork in this movie is spellbinding. From Titmouse Incorporated and the Netflix animation team, Arlo the Alligator Boy shows off a stunning display with wonderful colors and designs. The 2D animation was a really bold move in a time when animated movies are nearly always 3D animated. That's not to say 3D animation is bad or anything. If anything, Pixar and Blue Sky, rest in peace, have proved that 3D animation is just as beautiful. But when it's constantly being given to us, it's nice to see a break away from 3D and go back to 2D. Especially when it looks as good as this. Not to mention that the fluid motion is eye-catching and amazing.
You mean like on the beach?
Exactly! Or like my all-time favorite scene, the musical number for Please Wash the Hurt Away. The smooth movement of the characters and their expression is just beautiful to see, and seeing them come alive in this fantastic world that they live in. When examining the beach scene, we see how this hard work to make the movements pay off from the moment Birdie and Arlo step into the water to when all of the friends are glowing while in the water. Besides the fluid motion, the designs of the characters are also crucial, as not only do they all look brilliant, they're all diverse. Even Marcellus that's designed to look gross isn't hard to look at all. Every character is designed to look unique and like they belong in the form they're in, which fits with the theme of the movie being loving yourself. In the end, Arlo is an incredibly brilliant piece of work I love to dive right into time and time again.
Awesome job, sweetie.
Yeah.
It'll be a tough act to follow, but I think I might branch off of something you mentioned, babe.
Oh?
I think I got a few words to say in the characters of this film. Not just in design, but more in their development and their symbolism.
Fine by me, I get to draw it in the fluff.
I'm not that fluffy. Am I?
The fluffiest woofy.
You put a bow on me, I make a bow of your intestines.
Bandana?
Now we're talking!
Save me a spot in the fluff. As for me, well, what can I say about the themes and characters that hasn't already been said? I could go about the color schemes of each character matching well with each other. I could mention how it's wonderful to see the found family trope be played out so well and not forced. But I think if I had to pick something with the characters and themes related to them, it's the fresh take they take on these characters. Most stories portray characters as archetypes, following both the good and bad side of them. The fat characters are food-obsessed and jolly. The New York pizza lover is a mob member or ex-mob member. The rich relative is a cruel and evil person. These archetypes usually become easy to spot since most creators just copy and paste what they see from other works. Yet in cases like Arlo, our ideas of these characters are subverted. Like with Birdie's weight not being played for a joke, Tony having these traits but not being defined by them, and how Ansel Beauregard is closed off but not entirely the bad guy. However, the most change we see is with our lead villains, Ruff, Stucky, and Beast.
Ruff, Stucky, and Beast? And Millie, I thought they were the least interesting. Why are they the most subverted?
Because the show makes us believe that they are the bad guys. when actually the true villain is society and its pressures and influences. Ruff, Stucky, and Beast aren't exactly the most nefarious villains ever made. Getting chased by them feels more like an inconvenience, and they especially take a background role when the group makes it to New York City. In fact, the best comparison I can think of is Team Rocket. You want to fear them, but they're only just okay at what they're doing. The real villain, though, is when we see the pressure of society Ansel lives in force him to deny Arlo a home and disown him entirely. Reflected in Wash the Herd Away, they barely appear, but rather Ansel and the city weigh more on Arlo. Ruff, Stucky, and Beast in the end act as a representation of societal norms, always plaguing those that do not fit in and never truly go away. That is, until one fully accepts themselves, as seen in the ending when the trio finally give up and leave Arlo and his group alone, when Ansel and New York accept him. Afterwards, they fade into the background and aren't really mentioned again until we see the Beast flying with Ansel, assumedly adopted. Overall, the subversion of who the real villain of the film is just does as well as the characters themselves. Being a shining example, hopefully more creators in the future will follow.
And that's where I think we should wrap up. Arlo the Alligator Boy is a grand story that hopefully improves as time goes on.
Filled with dazzling music and meaningful lyrics that will brighten your day, and ones you keep coming back to day after day.
Accompanied by brilliant and smooth 2D animated characters soon to steal the hearts of many, you won't forget Arlo and his family anytime soon.
And finally, with a theme of love and acceptance, who wouldn't want to look at this amazing alligator animation?
And with that, I would just like to say a big thank you for all of you for helping me out today on this wonderful video.
Hun, your leg's back to normal.
It is. It is!
Told you just needed to rest.
Never doubted you, sweetie. Thank you, all of you.
It was no trouble at all, Diamond. So, you going back and patrolling and managing the sanctuary?
You know what? I think I wouldn't mind laying down, cuddling up, and spending time with the boyfriends I love the most.
Sounds perfect, hun.
I call top floof.
Aw, then I call the tail.
Hey, the tail is mine!
Well, from all of us here, this has been Silver Starling.
DoodleBugDoge.
TheMusicReborn.
And ChurgoII.
See you next time you want to run with the pack.